we approach the joyous holiday of Pesach, Dini and I would like to take this opportunity to wish each and every one of you a happy and sweet Passover. May the beautiful Yontif and the time spent at the Seder with our family and friends inspire us to rededicate ourselves to our families, to our community, and to the Torah. It's a story told about a fellow who had a very important business meeting in Manhattan at 12 o'clock, and he arrives but he could not find a parking space. In desperation, he drives around the block a few times, cannot find a spot. Finally, he turns to God and he says, "Almighty God, I know I haven't been a good Jew, but if you find me a parking space, I promise I'll start going to synagogue on a regular basis." Goes around the block once again, still no parking space. Says, "God, I promise, just find me a spot, I'll start going to synagogue, I'll even start keeping kosher." Comes around the block a third time, and sure enough, right there in front of the building where his meeting is to take place, a car puts on its blinker and it's about to pull out. At that point, he prepares to take the spot. He looks up to heaven, he says, "Almighty God, never mind, I found the spot." On the night of Passover, we all gather around the table, and amongst the beautiful songs that we sing, perhaps the most catchy and the most popular is the Dayenu song. But when you look at the Dayenu song, it's quite disturbing. In the Dayenu song, we thank God for all the miracles that He performed for our ancestors, a total of 15 different points of gratitude and appreciation for God. But for example, we say to God, "Ivu averanu betocho becharava," had God taken us through the sea on dry land, but had not drowned our oppressors in the sea, Dayenu, it would have been enough. And one wonders, really? Had He not drowned our oppressors, how would we be free? How would that have been enough? And then we say, had God drowned our oppressors in the sea, but not supplied our necessities in the wilderness for 40 years, that would have been enough. How would that have been enough? We would have died in the desert over 40 years without God providing our necessities. And so too it says, God, had you taken us to Mount Sinai and not given us the Torah, that would have been enough. Well, how would that have been enough? What's the point of going to Mount Sinai if we walk away empty-handed without the Torah? My friends, perhaps the Dayenu song is teaching us one of the most important lessons of life that applies to every single area of life. And that is that there's two ways to live your life. You could either be appreciative for everything, or you could appreciate nothing. You could either notice what you have or notice what you're missing. Many times people suffer from what's known as the missing tile syndrome, where they could look at a beautiful mosaic, a beautiful picture, but if there's one tile missing, immediately their eye catches that one missing tile. They notice what's lacking. So too we can look at our lives and notice what's missing, what's wrong, and I assure you there'll always be something missing in our lives. Or we could live with the Dayenu attitude, which is appreciate and be grateful for every single thing in our lives. Don't take anything for granted. Don't feel like you're deserving of anything. Like the matzah, be humble, and therefore you'll be grateful and thankful for every human being and every single blessing in your life, for your spouse, for your children, and the beautiful world God gave us. And so, my friends, as we approach this holiday of Pesach, let us think about the meaning of freedom, and most importantly, freedom from discontent, freedom from unhappiness, freedom from sadness, which many times just comes from a lack of appreciation. I wish you and your loved ones, your family, and all of the Jewish people, a Chag Kasher v'Sameach.